Hey everybody, welcome to the Money Mindset Podcast channel. I am Natalia, and this is where we talk about really your money and your wealth and building wealth and how to do that from the very beginning with the basics. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the power of saving early, right? So we're going to talk about saving early, some practical strategies, and how to build like that emergency fund with some example that can hopefully that you'll be able to walk away with to be able to start doing immediately. Okay, so the first thing is just trying to figure out and asking yourself the question, like, why does saving early matters? Like, what do it matter, right? So the thing about that is, if you do not save early, or if you haven't started and you don't start soon, you are missing out on the long-term benefits of saving. So a lot of people will talk about what is compound interest, right? So when you're saving, and you're growing a savings and you're investing, and the purpose of it is to not touch this money immediately because you don't need it right now. So the purpose of saving is to be able to take advantage of that compound interest, right? So we want our money to be able to make us more money. So the longer that you leave your money, for example, in an investment account, that money is going to compound over time. Okay, so a lot of people save, and I'm not just going to say save, but save and invest in order to take advantage of that compound interest. It's like building that snowball for your savings account, or your long-term snowball for this is what I'm going to do, later on in life. So if you don't start building that snowball now, it will never grow into a huge snowball. So the later that you start, the smaller your snowball is going to be, right? Because we're not taking advantage of the fact of time, the ability that's going to make that money compound over time. So you're not taking advantage of the time that you'll have for it to compound. So another reason is for financial security, right? So we want to be able to have a savings. For example, like I said, with me, nobody ever thought, at least we didn't, in 2025 that, okay, the federal government is going to get rid of my position, right? So who would have thought? So a lot of federal employees, we've always said, oh, there's job security in this. Oh, we don't have to worry about our jobs. Our jobs aren't going anywhere. Well, guess what? They did, okay? For some, for most. Well, I shouldn't say for most, but they did, all right? So it's just the fact that it could happen, and it did happen. And then, a lot of people, including myself, never thought oh, this could happen to me. So the point of having that savings account is to prepare for life events of things that you don't expect to happen, right? So that's part of having that savings / emergency fund. I'm preparing. The emergency fund is me preparing for life unexpectancies. What can happen? What's going to happen? And we can't always foresee what those things are, but we do know that we're going to have a life emergency, right? And I'm not going to say life emergency, but we're going to have emergencies in life, and I'll say it that way, right? So why not best position yourself to prepare for that if you can? And that to me is starting with, okay, let me start putting up, I don't care if it's $10 a pay period, $10 a week. I tell again, my kids, 5 years old, all the way up. And I'm talking about my kids at the community center and after school that I teach. Start small. Start with what you have. Okay. Let's not be afraid to start with where we're at. Of course, there's always somebody in life that's doing better than you, but I always say there is somebody that's always hurting or doing worse than you, right? So we want to make sure that we're putting ourselves in a better position so that when we start saving and we start investing and we build that emergency fund, we're able to come back and to be able to help somebody that's in need that probably may not have had a plan, or their plan didn't work out, right? So we want to make sure that we're building that savings. So again, we have the compound interest and we have that financial security. And another reason that like my kids save again is I talk about for savings goals, and it could be individual savings accounts, it could be individual saving envelopes, saving jars, whatever you want to do it, like whatever that looks like for you. The point is to make it happen, right? To start small. So we want to make sure that we have our savings goals and we know why. Why are we doing this, right? So another reason that I have people start, and that's why I say start now, okay, is because it builds like that safety net early on for life events, okay? So if you start now, you can't foresee what's going to happen to you 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now. But if you have that and you start working that, and I don't care if it's $5 a week, $10 a pay period, whatever that looks like, it will grow and it will compound. And you're just building a bigger and a larger safety net, right? And that safety net is equals hashtag peace of mind, right? So when stuff happen, I don't have to say, hey, who can I borrow some money from? Did I pay him back the last time? That's a whole nother video, okay? About paying your bills or paying people back on time if you borrow money. It's a whole nother video. But the point is with the savings, okay? So we want to make sure that we're able to do that. And I can even talk about it like I started with the federal government when I was 19 in college. And I can remember we used to get these emails about, oh, talk to this, financial advisor. I didn't even know what a financial advisor was at the time. Okay. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll sign up for it. And so I can remember this guy actually coming to meet with me during my lunch hour and asking me all these questions about, well, how much are you putting up now? What is your plan? And at the time, like I said, I was 19. I couldn't even think of what a retirement looked like, right? All I knew is that, at the time, I had one child, and I was like, I got to take care of this child, and I know I got to be able to, put something away for later in life so I'm not working forever, because there's certain careers and jobs that scare me that I don't want to do, and I knew that much. So I was like, when I get a certain age, there's certain things that I don't want to do. So I used that as like that driving force, but I was able to like meet with him, and he painted a picture. And although my parents had told me to,